Yes, sir. Welcome back to another Chop Or Die film session. I am your host of the Chop Or Die podcast, man, Mual. And on this episode, we are diving into another prospect profile for Drake Maye. And this time, we're talking about his processing and his ball placement, right? We talked about what made him elite in our first part of our film session with Drake Maye. This time, we're going to talk about his processing and his ball placement. I think he does some good things well with his processing as well as his placement. But then there are some instances where you kind of see the inconsistencies throughout the course of a game and throughout moments of a season where you're wondering, is this what you'll get consistently is inconsistency, or there's some things that he can tweak as he goes on as an NFL player, developing and getting the right coaching and tutelage that he needs. So without further ado, let's go ahead and tap into the Drake Maye film session processing and placement. Like, subscribe, let us know your comments and your thought. Let's go, man. All right, so in this episode, you'll see a mix of some runs and passes, but it's all due to him processing things. So again, you see some things that he does well. You see very good pocket presence at times, right? For example, you see this one instance where in a 3rd and 9 situation, you're looking for a receiver to find, like, you really got to get open in these instances, right? These are just as important as a 4th and 4 or something like that. 3rd and 9, you got to get open. And for North Carolina, you're not seeing that right here, right? So good on Drake Maye for taking things into his own hand. You see his competitiveness in some situations, right? Understanding that, all right, if they're going to give me a rush lane, I have nobody open right now. Let me make something shape. And so you see his athletic ability to some extent right there in that instance. I mean, for Drake Maye and what you see as an NFL prospect, you want a person who can create and find ways to make plays when a play is broken down, there's nobody open. So very good play from Drake Maye in this instance, processing post snap that nobody's open. I got to make something shake, and he did. So I want to show like a real live example on 2 consecutive plays of like the good and bad of Drake Maye in terms of his placement, right? And processing. So in this moment, like, he knew immediately where that safety was, right? That single high safety, that he wasn't in position to cover that receiver on the boundary, right? So the receiver does a good job winning at the snap, right? Getting inside and then getting right back outside with his speed. The ball in terms of his placement could have been a little bit further outside, in terms of like trying to stay as far away from the safety as you can, but nonetheless, it keeps the receiver in stride. The safety takes a bad angle, and Drake Maye gets himself a touchdown. Big play against, I believe Notre Dame, right? So very good play in the pocket, on time, able to have the receiver stay under the football. Big play. And now we're talking about a 2-point conversion here. The very next play kind of encapsulates every single thing that we're going to be talking about as the film session goes along. He has these instances where you can't understand exactly what's going on with his accuracy, his mechanics to some extent, right? Like I said before in a previous episode, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some super quarterback expert at a position that can tell you everything that's wrong with his base or his mechanics, right? But obviously there's something going on there, as you'll see as this goes along, that you wonder exactly what you're getting out of a Drake Maye. All right, so on this example against Minnesota, you're seeing, again, let's run it and just talk about it for a second. That's a very good throw. And obviously you see the timing, being able to stay on time, but also processing the coverage post-snap. You have a honey hole situation, right? A cover 2. You see that middle linebacker, I believe that is, walling over the middle or in that Tampa 2 shell in a sense, running towards the logo, right? But you got a corner route and you got a quick jet out from your receivers at the bottom of your screen. And Drake Maye has really good arm strength, good placement, right? Processing these things and staying on time within the structure of the play. Big completion, you keep the sticks moving, your receiver makes a play for you. Let's kind of look at it from the end zone angle just so you can see one hitch and then ball is out. Big play from Drake Maye. So as good as we see the processing and understanding those things, right? You see Drake in this situation have a one-on-one, right? And the receiver smokes the DB, runs right past him, but the ball placement is out of bounds and it's not even catchable. And so you wonder, where these things come from. But again, you see that. Let's kind of go back to where the ball landed. It wasn't even a place to to be caught for the receiver, and that's kind of problematic. You always obviously want your receiver at least the ball to stay in bounds so he has a chance, but it wasn't even close. Drake Maye honestly just launched it, and the ball went far out of bounds in that instance. All right, so again, we see examples of processing, right? This is a very good job from Drake Maye working his progressions, right? Staying within the timing of the offense. It's all good. And then you get to throw. You wonder, you have these WTF moments of like, where is he? Like, what's going on here with the football? Now, is it because he maybe saw the cornerback crashing, maybe? And he threw a bad ball on purpose? I don't know. But again, as you look at this and you see where that football went, that's just not something that you want to see from your quarterback. You want to see more consistency in how he makes these decisions in terms of his accuracy and placement, just as much as you see the good ones. So, all right. So again, 3rd and 3, 3rd down. This is a big situation for any offense. You want to stay on the field. Good job from Drake Maye here, right? Your receiver's hot. You run a curl. The cornerback jumps it. But I'm smart enough to know, I see that you're jumping it. I'm going to make something shake with my legs. I'm going to create with my legs. And this is exactly what Drake Maye does in this instance. Very good situation. Very good play from Drake Maye, understanding that the middle of the field is open. Protect that football, though, man. That thing was loose, but he made a play. 1st down, we keep the drive moving. But as we continue to move forward in our film session, one thing that stands out to me sometimes is how he performs in 3rd or 4th down situations in the red zone. And this is big, obviously, because now, granted, these aren't necessarily the full story in terms of every single time that he's in the red zone, right? Like, that's not always the case. But in some crunch moments, you kind of see some instances of being slow to deliver the football, or missing reads, or completely inaccurate plays, which obviously hurts the team. So in this instance, again, as we run it back, this is a 3rd down situation, right? You got a clean pocket, but also in terms of your timing of the play, you're late, right? The ball isn't out at the time in which he's supposed to let this football go in this corner route. It's only one receiver out there. You have plenty of space, right? This ball should be let go at this point in time. But Drake Maye, even with him staring the route down, right, doesn't let that football go until when? He's already near the back of the end zone. Look where he throws it. He's already near the back of the end zone. So let's kind of show you where that ball went. Almost got your boy killed. And you don't want to have that on 3rd down. You don't want to have that on 4th down in the red zone when you really need to have these plays, right? These are big moments for a quarterback. This is big moments for an offense. Again, another 3rd down situation for Drake Maye. And as we run this one, you'll see 3rd and 6, you got a solid pocket, right? Like, there's nobody here for you in terms of that's going to provide an immediate threat. So just stand tall in the pocket. He does a good job processing, right? Understanding that his receiver is going to be open on this break and in route. Now, I want you to understand something, right? Like, body language of players, I don't think that it's good, as I've come to learn over the years, to show up your quarterback. I even make that mistake in, like, when I play recreational football, right? And I know that that's not healthy. I need to get better. But look at the bottom of your screen at number 5. I think you just saw him. Run that one back right there. Number 5. This was the course of a 2-year period, not just number 5, but Josh Downs, who's believe with the Indianapolis coach right now, did the same thing. And I don't think that that's a healthy response, but I'm sure it's pretty frustrating to see something like that. Even the receivers like, yo, what are we doing? 3rd and 6, you're off the field. So this is a crazy play from Drake Maye, but I like it. It's 2022. His eyes never got off of his receiver. His eyes never got off of the play downfield. This is really good post-snap processing, but also, like, this is a risk. It's a risk. It's an admitted risk. I don't know how safe this is. We know how safe it is in the NFL, and you don't really recommend something like that. But if you understand what's going on and understand that the middle of the field is wide open, I'm going to give my receiver a chance, and Drake Maye did that despite the receiver or the defender grabbing at his feet, right? So he gets in the end zone. And that play is made from Drake Maye. Very good post-snap processing, but also a playmaker. Look at where the ball went. Let's kind of understand that, right? Where the ball travels. Like, that is ridiculous. Spiral right to the receiver. The receiver makes a play. And now we're talking about a touchdown. Hell of a play. All right, so when we talk about the red zone issues, right, we just showed one of the goods. Now we go back to some of the issues in the red zone. Again, when we talk about 3rd and 4th down situations, gotta have it moments, right? You see where he kind of processes things and moves on through his progressions way too quick, right? Way too soon in the instance. Let's go ahead and run this one so you can kind of see things better. He's starting from reading to his running back, right? In a moment where you gotta have it, to now transitioning to going from receiver to shallow cross, now looking to get out of the pocket, but he can't get out of the pocket. As you look through this play, he has an opportunity to run in the back, to look for the back of the end zone receiver, number 3, right, who's wide open right now. But again, part of the thing, sometimes when he's under pressure, like mentally under pressure, he'll go through his progressions too quick, and you don't want that, right? That's not a good look. It's not also to say that he can't improve from it, but you see those instances where he passes on these guys in big moments, and when it's on timing and you want something to be on structure, this is that opportunity where you see it and you want to be able to hit that. Number 3 is wide open. You have a touchdown, but instead you take a sack. All right, here we go. Another instance for the red zone with the Tar Heels, 3rd and 5 situation, right? Almost picked off. But again, if we're talking about 3rd and 5 and you need 5 yards, look at your running back right here, right? I think one thing with Drake Maye, again, we're talking about 3rd down situations, 4th down situations in the red zone, right? Understanding that if you have 2 plays, understand that you don't have to force this one into the end zone and almost get it picked off. You have your running back in the flats. Understand where your check down is, right? And make that throw. I think that's important to understand, and keeping the drive alive, not risking a turnover, right? You can survive giving your running back the football and having him have an opportunity to score or get it close enough to where you go for it. 4th and 1, 4th and inches, maybe 4th and 2 if he gets nervous. But you got an opportunity. And here we go again. Let's close this one out with a completion, but you kind of understand in terms of placement and processing where I am with Drake Maye. This is very good processing from Drake Maye, right? But now we're talking about ball placement. The inconsistency sometimes is what is standing out when you watch a Drake Maye tape. He has the arm place, he has the arm strength, the velocity to make these throws, and he processes well sometimes. But then there's some instances in which you see the processing in critical moments affect him and impact him. And this is one of those plays where, you know, he gets the ball there, it's a completion, but it should have been a touchdown. And you never know. What if that play was the biggest moment of his career in the NFL, right? As a rookie, I'm adding all these extra things in there, but then they don't score, right? That's a bad ball. But at the same time, the processing is there. And I think that's one positive thing that you can take away. And he also got the football there. That's another thing that you can take away. But you got to be cognizant of the good and bad with these throws that he's making. Sometimes you just don't know where the football is going to go, and inexplicably. But then sometimes he processes well, but also sometimes you see moments where that processing hurts him in critical moments. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up on this Drake Maye film session, this player prospect profile, whatever you want to call it, second part of Drake Maye, man. I hope you all enjoyed or understood a little bit further about his processing abilities, good and bad, as well as his ball placement, good and bad, the things that he does well, some things that he's inconsistent about, which is the more alarming side to me when you look at Drake Maye as a prospect. We're not done yet. We will continue with the player profile for Drake Maye. Again, like I said, hope you all enjoy. Let us know your comments, thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, man, we out of here. Peace.
Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Damn, set, watch him throw the ball, man. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through 4th and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.